So AI has brought up some major concerns, and I would like to provide some examples of how these concerns have been affecting people in different ways. Police departments are using facial recognition software, which they know that misidentifies up to 97% of Black suspects, leading to false arrests. And then with unemployment issues, manufacturing, agriculture, communication, food service, and many other industries benefit from AI in numerous ways. But it is estimated that AI and automation could affect or eliminate 1/4 of the jobs here in the US. What are you hearing about AI and algorithms in this regard? And in your workspace, has this been a concern?
I know that type of stuff. Honestly, it is kind of scary. It is a little weird because AI is such a fast evolving, I guess, technology. But I feel like in all the ways that it's a negative thing, it can also be seen as a positive thing because since it's so new, there haven't really been a lot of people who have come together to develop a defense for it. However, I feel like as it becomes more refined and as it becomes more integrated, those types of policies will be put in place, kind of like cars back in the past. I know at first cars definitely took a lot of the load off of people and they shortened travel times. However, they were unregulated. And just like long story short, as AI is getting more and more used, I feel like things will come into place within other markets or other areas of research to kind of regulate it in order to make it something that is not quite so easy to take advantage of.
Do you know if anyone has done any studies specifically to identify which jobs or which types of jobs would be impacted the most and the earliest? Because one of the other concerns, and I'm thinking about this from a sociological standpoint, one of the big things that I'm seeing in the news today is not wanting people to work remotely. However, if you're telling people that they have to be in the office and interfacing with each other in order to do their jobs effectively, how do you rationalize replacing those jobs with AI that has no human interaction? Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Yes, so I definitely agree with what you're saying. I do think that one of the big issues with AI is that there's the whole issue of utilizing like algorithms and computers and things of that nature to basically replace like human interaction. And that's a major issue because to me, robots, AI, algorithms, things like that, they can't replicate human sentiment. So they can't replicate actual human feelings, being able to understand someone else from like a human perspective. That's something that just can't be replicated. And I think that's a major issue that's come about with AI because there's an attempt to basically replace everything that's seen as like a minor job or something that's like very low skill. But a lot of those things require that human interaction. And so if that is missing, then of course that's going to lead to major issues because you have people that are being basically overlooked because, the person that's developing these algorithms, they're trying to develop basically a cookie cutter perception of like what a person is, what a person should be, what a person should expect. And so if you don't have, I guess you could say if you don't have the full grasp of everyone, then of course you're missing out on that. And that's something that's very hard to capture. It's really hard to get information on every single person because everybody has like their own unique backgrounds, their own unique perspectives, things of that nature. And that can only really be, interfaced very well when you have an actual human available to do so. So I think that's something that needs to be touched on a lot within AI and machine learning. And I think that's something that should be taught more. From like my experience with computer science, there isn't necessarily a big emphasis on understanding like the sociological perspective towards different issues impacting technology, like how the technology is being developed to be more representative of human populations and things of that nature. But I do also recognize that a lot of people are starting to push more for that, just to understand how we can make things more accessible, how we can make sure that people are being better recognized by AI and machine learning so that it's not becoming to the point where people are basically being replaced by technology.
With you.
I do believe that sometimes our fears and concerns about AI are very valid. The fears about the biases are proven, like those are clear. However, I do think that it leaves a beautiful opportunity to address some of those biases, because the thing about AI, we, like you said, are in control of it and we create it. I want to give an example too. When I first came across ChatGPT, I spoke to one of my mentors about it with the same fears, like, oh my gosh, people are gonna get lazy. People are already lazy, like they're not gonna want to do this and do that. And he broke it down to me. At the end of the day, it's two type of people in the world. It's type of people that are going to use this system for the benefit of them and to grow and learn, or they're going to allow this system to use them and become codependent on it. And I think as journalism students, and as well in the arts and humanities, what we have to do to stay at the forefront of being able to use these technologies to our benefits is to basically re-look at how we're looking at this and update our standards of education, updates our standards of ethics, about perfect example how PR is today. PR isn't what it was 30 years ago, because once upon a time it was quote unquote unethical to take payment for advertisement for a PR company. But now that's what PR looks like in a content creation world, in a social media world. So it's like we have to learn how to adapt and not get left behind in the dust as this fast new technology is developing. We should be developing with it. So I do think another important thing that we have to learn is how are we going to incorporate the future of AI into our curriculum now?
If one of them could give us an example how AI is positively impacting their work or their daily life.
I guess I could give an example too. As someone, I'm a full-time college student out of state who runs a clothing business, who's in who knows how many clubs, and I'm very active in them, and I have my own organization, and the list goes on. So something that's very important to me is time management and efficiency. And even though I just found out about ChatGPT, it's been making major changes in my life, whether it's me saving time with planning or me saving time with an essay outline and things of that sort. But something that I just recently discovered I could use ChatGPT for to help be efficient in my business was I needed to make a content creating schedule. And I asked ChatGPT, could you make a content calendar, social media content calendar for me for 1 month where I post 3 times a week, and I made it very specific. And it literally did 4 weeks worth of things that I would have probably taken 2 hours to write down and actually plan out. And it told me exactly to the T what type of content, how to be diverse in the content, etc. And things like that is just the power in AI that so many.
And that is, to what extent is AI affecting your industry today? And what are your personal concerns as a student engineer for the future of AI?
I mean, because we're the ones that's kind of making algorithms for AI. And so it's going to eventually come to a point where these AI machines or these AI technologies are starting to take our jobs, which means there will be less human interaction. And that's a personal concern that I have as a student engineer today, because once graduation happens in May, I start my real job. I go into the real world, and I have to kind of be aware of all of these AI technologies surrounding me and things like that. But I mean, like we've talked about before, it's 50-50 with AI, benefiting society and also hurting society. But my biggest thing is just human interaction, because once these technologies start taking over jobs that, these individuals have been working for years and years and years, it's just kind of like, what do we have left as society?